Hello, I'm Jen Somley, and I want you to have a fantastic college experience. To live your best life, you're going to need to learn how to truly study. Studying has become sort of a lost art recently, and it's one that we need to recover. Before we talk about what studying is, let's talk a little about what studying isn't. One of the things you learn living in college towns is that Americans have a special place in their heart for college students. I'm always reminded of this when dining at restaurants where many of the students are servers. When older adults meet college students, they often ask, "So, what are you studying?" Then the college students respond by naming their major. But the most honest, self aware, and literal answer that many college students could give is this: nothing. I declared a major, but I don't really study anything. Each week, I just sort of run my eyes over some words in textbooks while iPhone notifications buzz beside me every few seconds, but my attention is so divided that I often run my eyes over to 4 to 5 pages of words before realizing I have no idea what I just read. So I turn back a few pages and try again, but the same thing happens. Then, when I don't do well on exams, I conclude that I'm just not a good test taker. For about 15 years, I've talked to countless students about student success. I start some of the conversations by asking students who do really well on quizzes and exams how they did it. And even though textbooks have become ebooks and assignments are usually submitted online now, not much has changed when it comes to studying. The most successful students that I've talked to are always able to articulate how they study. They have a plan. They don't always have the same plan, but they have a plan. Many of the other conversations are initiated by students who are not excelling. Usually these conversations go something like this. Student: I want to talk to you about the last exam. Me: great, what's on your mind? Student: I didn't do as well as I hoped. Me: I'm sorry to hear that, and I'd love to help you do things differently so that you can get better results in the future. First, can you help me understand how you studied for the last exam? Then, after a moment of silence, well, I haven't really done any of the readings, but I came to class most of the time. What I've learned over the last 15 years is this: some students just simply don't study. Many do, but many don't. And there's a difference between reading and studying. There's a difference between skimming and studying. There's a difference between attending class and studying. But some students don't study because they lack an understanding of what they are supposed to be doing as a student. Apparently, nobody gave them their job description. Once in a while, and this is rare, but a student comes to office hours to discuss their grade and they make it clear that they didn't realize they were supposed to study. They explain that they didn't read the syllabus or get a copy of the textbook, but they came to class some of the time, so they're confused why they didn't earn an A. Because they really wanted an A, and they tell me they really needed an A. They're perplexed and confused and seem to think that their grade is meant to be a reflection of how badly they want a grade as opposed to an indication of their mastery of the course content. Again, this is rare, but it happens once in a while. These conversations always kind of remind me of a Pink Floyd lyric. No one told you when to run. You missed the starting gun. Other times, the problem is that students don't actually know how to study, or especially recently, they've forgotten how to study. Over the past couple years, students who used to know how to study have kind of forgotten how to study, mostly because with online classes, they found that they could just look up the answers while taking quizzes and exams. So there was no need to actually learn the material, at least if their motivation was earning a grade as opposed to learning. But there's hope, and there's reason to be optimistic. I don't remember a time where students were more eager to learn to study and acquire study skills than right now. They actually want to be taught or to relearn how to study. My sense is that many students are tired of earning a grade without learning the lesson. They're sick of going through the motions of school. They're sick of being given a grade rather than earning a grade because standards were lowered or tossed out completely during the pandemic, as if having a good excuse for not learning something was equivalent to learning something. The students I know are ready to learn, to actually learn. But although they have an awareness of what they're supposed to do, they've forgotten how to do it. And you may be in this category. Maybe it's time to learn how to study effectively and to build study habits that will work well for you. Maybe it's time to relearn how to study or to recreate effective study habits. We'll talk about what it truly means to study next, and after that, we'll talk about what to study and how to study.